Hey everybody, welcome to Planter Grow Night. We're going to be talking about resetting your routine for your indoor food growing space, cleaning, troubleshooting, upgrades. This is our week 9 of our live streams. The key here is we're going to be talking about maintenance checkpoints. So extending your garden productivity, we're going to prep for future growing cycles. And to give you a sense of it, you can do 4 full growing cycles indoors with greens and herbs, basically every 3 months, transitioning from one crop of plants over to a fresh one. And if you're growing tomatoes, cucumbers, dwarf fruits of any kind, you can do 2 full cycles. So basically every 4 to 5 months, you're going to be cycling out your old plants and then cycling new ones in. So tremendous productivity. You may not have heard about that yet. And if you're new to us, let me show you who we are. We are actually Planter at indoorgardenmarket.com, and we are sharing with people that you can actually learn how to grow more than 75 pounds of herbs, greens, fruiting plants indoors year-round using LED grow lights. It all happens in a really small space. You can do this with just about the same size space as a coffee table. If you got a little more space, like the size of a dining room table, you can certainly do quite a bit more than that. You can get over 100 pounds per year in production. So just to give you a sense of what that means, 75 pounds per year production is going to equal out to about 3 full-size salads with greens and herbs per week. You will be eating so much from your indoor garden that you'll forget you ever had a grocery store where you needed to buy these things from somewhere far away. It's cleaner, it's fresher, it's easy to do, just a few minutes of maintenance every week, and you have endless diversity of things to do. So let's jump straight into it. You can it's up here. You can actually scan that QR code just above my shoulder there. That's going to take you to our website, and it's also going to get you signed up for our free indoor food growing training program. Let me give you the QR code for that. You can scan this QR code, join the free indoor food growing training program. You get tips and tricks, reminders, discounts on different supplies to get yourself growing. The goal here is to really expand our food supply indoors, teach us how to grow well, how to start seedlings, how to really increase the food supply, and then who knows, maybe take it outdoors. You've got some outdoor space, but you really want to get really good at growing seedlings. And that's a big part of what we're doing here. So moving right along here, let's jump over to the next section. So we are actually going to be talking about deep cleaning and demos. So what you'll see over here, so this is actually a Mufka system. It is a 12 plant system that is great for herbs and greens. This one's generally near the end of its life. You'll notice some of the plants' leaves are dried out. They might be a little bit discolored. That's perfectly normal. This plant is at the end of its life cycle. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to reset this system. So you'll see I pulled out all of the baskets that hold the plants. So I've got one right here. You can just pull those out. You can eat whatever greens are left over. In this case, I set them on the side so you can see that. Clean is next. So you're going to take this system apart. You're going to wash it. Soap and water is usually enough. Make sure you rinse it out really well. In some cases, if it's super dirty, you might want to add something that's a little bit stronger to kill any bacteria that's in place. And after that, you are ready to set up for your next cycle. So a couple of weeks ago, I actually started my next crop of seedlings. So you can kind of see them right here. See if we can get kind of close to the light there so you can see them. A good mix. We've got cucumber plants, seedlings popping up there. Those are really big. And these are all different kinds of greens and herbs over here where my finger is. So really easy to plant from this moment. I'll show you how that works in just a second. You are able to, once you've cleaned everything, you'll notice that those little baskets are right there. Now you've got a few options. You can take a coconut core or a rock wool plug, pop it into the basket, and then put the seed in there, cover it for a couple of days, and wait for that seed to grow. Now what you've noticed is I did all that on the side. So I started that 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago now. So those plants are ready to be actually ready to be started in a hydroponic system. So jumping back over into our mufka example right here. So I actually cleaned out that mufka and I have it right here so you can see it cleaned, ready to go. And I've even taken the liberty of taking one of the plants and I've cut it out of those squares. That allows you to just pop it into your system like this. The system itself has a little kind of spout at the bottom there, and it's going to run nutrient water over the top of your plugs as it's growing. So it's a really easy way to get started. You just pop them in there, and a couple of weeks, these plants are going to be big enough to start eating off of. They won't be huge, but they will definitely be big enough. So that's typical reset process. If you have followed us, here's another system that we commonly use. This is actually just the top part of it, the sleeve where you plant the grow mesh. Grow mesh comes with these little pockets. This one is really productive. I love growing with these because it just grows so well and it's so easy. Maintenance is just replacing a nutrient pouch at the bottom of this system one time per month. Otherwise, you just top it off and you just grow. So those seedlings work really well. Once they get to that size, you can actually just pop them into this pocket here. Inside of this system, there is kind of a flow, basically almost like a circulatory system of nutrient water that's pushed from a pump at the bottom, and then it trickles back down. So this system can hold up to 16 plants at a time, and that allows you to get really great production. So really easy to use. Definitely one of the starter systems that I would focus on. And if you're interested in checking them out, we've got the QR code right there up at the top. Simple. I actually don't even really clean these. I've got ones that I've used for at least a couple of years indoors, multiple crop cycles. Honestly, I've lost count of how many crop cycles I've gotten out of them. But over time, what will happen is eventually this part of the pocket will kind of pull loose, depending on what kind of plant you might be using. But the replacement sleeve's really inexpensive. So you don't have to break the bank in order to start over with that system. It's very, very easy to do. So now that you kind of understand the reset process, how you're going to grow all of these different things, here's just a couple of tips to watch out for. So some troubleshooting common issues: yellowing leaves, root rot, moldy, medium, algae. That happens from time to time. A good way of combating that would be to use hydrogen peroxide, about 10% solution inside of a spray bottle for especially moldy and mildew, things of that nature. You're going to spray the plugs for the system, and that will help with them. Typically, nutrient imbalances might occur as you're growing. Certainly, soil is a little bit different than hydroponics. You want to make sure your pH is balanced in hydroponics, and that usually eliminates a lot of the problems with the nutrients. As long as you have 5.5 to 6.5 pH, neutral for greens and herbs especially, you're going to get good results. Important to note that airflow, light placement, water levels is all really important as well. So when you're first starting off your seedlings like this, you want these lights to be really close. You can see, just a few inches above. This is not an intense light, so you need to have it close. Keep your nutrients topped off. There's a little indicator on this system right here, and the grow mesh will actually kind of growl at you when it gets low. It's like, it's going to tell you, hey, I need some more nutrients, and you'll be able to top it off anytime. Airflow, important. If you stick this in a closet, you might want to add a fan, because that airflow really changes the possibilities of having mold or mildew pop up in your system. And restarting and reviving a plant or system, maybe you kind of saw it in that earlier picture. Eventually, your plants are just going to die. They're going to get old. They're at the end of their life cycle. It happens. It happens to all of us, really. So, approximately every 2 to 2.5 months, you're going to cycle out your greens and herbs, and you're just going to pop them into a new basket like this. Keep right on growing. Couldn't be any easier. Just a few minutes of maintenance over time. So it's pretty amazing. A couple of other tips here. So other things that can be helpful to upgrade. We talked a little bit about that. Timers, fans, shelving units, water meters. These are all helpful. Depending on where you're set up, they can give you some benefits. Seed starting trays, you'll see that one down there at the left, and also the one that I just showed you. I think that's really critical to have those seed starting trays because they allow you to start your seeds on the side and then transplant into soil or hydroponics whenever you like. So you can actually give yourself 30, even sometimes 60 days advance. In particular for cucumbers, tomatoes, the fruiting plants that really take at least 3 months to get up to size where they're going to start producing. It's really helpful to start on the side in a seedlings form, and then you can break apart those plugs and then plug them in wherever you need to. It's not a big problem at all. So media and lights, there's a lot of different kinds of lights out there. If you just go to Amazon, you'll see a huge number of different variations. Generally recommend 50 watts at least for your greens and herbs, and then around 100 to 150 for your fruiting plants. Now, there's better examples out there. For example, just to give you another idea, Happy Leaf lights, made in the USA. I've got a QR code for them right up there. I am using those, so if you follow us on social, you'll see my system where I've got those in growing with the grow mesh. Those are really amazing. They're 30-watt lights. They grow better than almost any other lights I've seen. Also pricey, but they've got an extended warranty. I think is 5 years or longer. So they get you great results. They're extremely energy efficient. The plants are amazing, either greens or herbs or fruiting plants. So lots of different things. And so you can actually get those at that QR code up there, Happy Leaf Lights. They're also available at our website, indoorgardenmarket.com. And while I'm showing all that, just a quick reminder, if you're just starting indoor food growing, if you're just interested in it, maybe you never heard about it before, but you're curious, we do have a free indoor growing training program that runs all year, 365 days. You can start in January, you can start in July. It doesn't matter when you want to start growing. It's easy. It's any time is in season when you're growing indoors. And you are able to grow up to 75 pounds of greens, herbs, fruiting plants per year inside. So keep that in mind. It's pretty amazing. Tips and tricks at this QR code below, and probably the fastest, easiest way of getting started and joining a community of people that are doing these kinds of growing for yourself. I always like to note right about here, just because we're talking about food growing indoors does not mean you only have to do it indoors. This is just amazing because so many people live in cities. They don't have an outdoor space. They might live in an extreme environment, a desert, or perhaps even a very cold environment like Alaska. Those places are difficult to grow outdoors for a number of reasons. You can do indoors year-round. As you're growing seedlings and getting better at that, you can begin to go outside, experiment, really get your food production up to really where it should be. So we now have option A and option B for food growing, and I would always select option A to start with, indoors. Indoor food growing is pretty amazing. So thanks for joining us in this planter grow night. We'd really like to know what's your go-to indoor garden tool or system? Are you using something? For example, like the Let Pot, I've got a QR code up there for that. Those are ones that I've used successfully and had great results. But there's lots of different ways to do it. You can use soil only if you want. You can use the Kratky method. You can use a number of off-the-shelf systems. I would just love to hear from you and find out what exactly you're growing with. So if you'd like to share hashtag my indoor food garden on any social channels, we do monitor those so we can share and you can actually see how other people are growing, the success they're having, the challenges they're overcoming in order to do this. This is fresh, free, or low cost food for your family. It's hard to beat the freshness of the greens and the food that comes out of these systems. And there's no spraying, there's no gas involved in shipping it to you. You don't have to be worried about a drought somewhere else in the world that's going to cut off the food supply. You control this yourself, which is really amazing. So we'd love to see a before and after pic over here, and share that with whatever channel you like, My Indoor Food Garden. And we'll definitely see it and pick it up, and then we will highlight what it is in one of our future planter grow nights. Here's a great example of one system. We found this. This is they are planted in the garden on Instagram. Tons of different things growing. It looks like it is a DWC type setup. They've got several containers they've cut holes into. They're using a bubbler and nutrients, and so they're growing, as you can see, really nice greens as well as tomatoes. I think later in this clip they're going to show some okra or perhaps some kind of a melon. I forget exactly what it is. We'll see in a second here, but just amazing amount of production that you can get when you are growing indoors with these lights. It is not expensive in many cases, especially nowadays. It's cheaper than grocery. So if you're interested in it, you could actually follow them, Planted in the Garden on Instagram. I didn't notice any systems in particular. It looked like they were all handmade systems, which are harder to get started with. But if you're interested and you just want to get started in an easy way, we have a number of systems that we love on our website, indoorgardenmarket.com. So I'm going to bring that up for you. You've got that, so you can always get more information. So it's indoorgardenmarket.com, and we also have our free indoor food growing training program right there. So join the free indoor food growing training program year round. Get more information about our systems that we recommend. Lots of ways to get started. If you're looking for seeds to grow indoors, keep in mind you can start anytime you want. Seeds Now is a great option. Scan that QR code. They have a lot of indoor food growing friendly options, dwarf options, for example. Tomatoes and cucumbers grow great indoors. So Seeds Now is something we've used for a long time. Definitely recommend high quality seeds, lots of different varieties. And honestly, the most fun part about doing this activity is that you just have so many options. You can try 100 different kinds of lettuce over the course of a year if you want to. If you've got a big enough setup, it's hard to believe how much we've never tried, because farmers can't grow enough. It's just too complicated to grow many varieties. They don't want to take a risk that something's not going to work right. It's hard in grocery stores. Grocery stores don't want to put new stuff in front of you. What if it looks strange and you just don't like the look of it, so you don't buy it? So they don't experiment, but you can. When you have these things in your control, you can try it out. And thanks so much for joining us here. More information at the QR code there. Next week, really excited, crop planning with the community. We are going to be planning for our next growing cycle. That will be the last growing cycle of the year, and it's going to run on the calendar quarter, so from October to December. Should be really amazing if you can imagine starting October and harvesting salads inside your home all the way through the holidays. What a different kind of experience that's going to be for you and your family. Fresh tomatoes for Thanksgiving, all possible using indoor food growing techniques. It's really amazing. And let me throw our indoor food growing training program code up one more time. Please join. Love to have you. We have lots of ways of supporting you, and we hope to see you on our next planter grow night, where we are teaching you how to grow up to 75 pounds of food, greens, herbs, tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever you want, indoors year round. Thanks so much. This is Cliff from Loudoun County, Virginia, the local community grower, and I hope to see you at either our online events, free classes that we have all year round, or maybe a local event in the future. Stay growing.